Hey, what's going on, my friend, and welcome back to the School of Impact podcast. In today's episode, we're going to dive into the content creation schedule of a 30K per month online fitness coach. So if you're an online health or fitness coach and you are stuck below that 30K per month mark, but you'd like to be between 30 to 50K per month on a consistent basis, what I'm going to do is I am going to show behind the curtains of what a content creation schedule looks like for a coach that's doing between $30,000 to $50,000 per month in their business consistently. Now, the biggest mistake that I see, let's call this out right out of the gates, is a lot of coaches, a lot of business owners really online right now, no matter what industry they're in, they're falling victim to this post and pray kind of strategy where, back in 2018, 2019, in fact, even 2020, maybe a little bit in 2021, but I started seeing this kind of strategy die off a lot in 2020. We can call it COVID. I don't know. Just a lot more people came online, right, during that time period. And so what ended up happening is content became a commodity, right? There's so many people publishing content now. In fact, over the last few years, it has increased from, I don't know what the old metric is, but I know what it is now. It's now 3,000 pieces of social media content being published every 3 minutes across social media platforms, like through Facebook, Instagram, things like that. And I'm sure it's even risen since that statistic came out about a year ago. And so if you're still out there just posting content, you're trying to give good information, you're trying to give good value, you're probably finding that you are able to get some leads, you are able to get some clients, but it's just not consistent. And that's what I want to address right now, because coaches, especially that are already doing between that 30 to 40 to 50K per month mark on a regular basis, they are doing things differently. And I want to show you exactly what I have done in my business. Now, transparently, we're doing a bit more than 30 to 50K per month in our business now. So we're doing what I'm sharing with you plus more, but we're also doing a lot more. But I want to show you so this message today is going to be for you if right now you are already doing the things, but your business, it just can't consistently, it hasn't in the past handful of months consistently been able to get past that 30K per month mark. That's what I'm going to show you today, and that's who I'm speaking to right now. And so if you're falling victim to the content commodity trap, what you need to do instead, and we'll break this down right now, and I'll kind of show you behind the curtains, is you have to post strategic content that is intended to drive inbound DMs. You see, a lot of people get caught up into let me just get mad engagement. Let me post this reel and get tons of likes and hearts. And they get caught up in this whole vanity trap. And rightfully so, because if you think about it, as humans, we're kind of wired for that. Right? We want people to like us. We want people to like the stuff that we're putting out there. And engagement is important if it's by the right people and the content is actually designed to get them interested, to create demand for the stuff that you're offering, right? And so there's a big distinction between getting engagement on your content just for vanity's sake and getting engagement on your content with people who are actually going to be interested in buying your stuff. So let me go ahead and break this down. Now, I will share kind of a behind the scenes here. So if you're listening on the podcast and you want to see the video version, just head on over to the YouTube channel, and you'll be able to kind of see this. But I'm going to talk through this first. So if you are listening on the podcast, I'm going to speak through this so you're able to grasp everything that I'm saying. So here are some principles to live by, and then I'll show you kind of my content calendar, some behind the scenes. And if you want to get access to my content calendar, I'm happy to share it with you. I'll share a screenshot so you can kind of see it. Perhaps I'll even give you a blank content calendar creation kind of schedule that we're recommending to our in-demand coach students as well. So just hit me up on Facebook or Instagram if you would like to see that. Now, here are some principles before we actually go into the content. So principle number one is you got to choose one main platform. This is a lesson that I learned from a mentor of mine long ago, and it holds even more true today, right? There's so many options for us to be posting on, and can you post, be omnipresent? Sure, but the problem is it creates a lot more like things for you to do. There's a lot of time that goes into being omnipresent, right? When you see some of these, the people that are kind of trending right now in the space, if you will, like people like Alex Hormozy or Grant Cardone or Gary Vee, a lot of these guys that are spouting this, and you see them doing it, they're paying teams like $70, $80, $90,000 a month to be that omnipresent. It's a lot of time. They have teams that are looking at data, at KPIs to improve performance, right? And so it's very challenging for a coach that doesn't have that cash flow to be that omnipresent, right? And so it's like what ends up happening is I see people on like Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, on TikTok, on YouTube, and their content's not pulling anybody from anywhere. And so they're just bad at all of this stuff. And it ends up creating so much time where it takes away from your ability to actually coach and transform people. And it ends up putting it into like becoming the role of a content creator. When I think most of us, and maybe I could speak for myself here and some others, at least in my world, they didn't sign up to be a content creator. If you're like me, you may enjoy it. You might enjoy like helping and teaching and stuff like that. But you signed up for this to like actually be able to change people's lives, right? To transform people. And that only happens when they are in your coaching program. And so what we recommend to do instead, especially when you're below that 30K per month mark in your business, is you need to work on generating cash flow. And by focusing on one platform that you can actually go all in on and optimize, right? You could figure out how to get the right eyeballs, how to drive the right traffic to your content, how to be able to actually convert the content on that platform, how to really work the algorithm on that platform, how to work the DM process on that platform, right? How to be able to book calls or sell whatever you're doing through that platform. Now, some of the back half, like the sales stuff, like the DMs, and that's going to be the same no matter what platform you're on, right? But like the actual optimization of the content is going to differ from platform to platform. And so what we do and what we recommend to a lot of students is we have our one main platform, right? Even us doing this now, right? Our main platform is Facebook. And then we use like YouTube and podcast for like more of our kind of Netflix style content, like this stuff, right? It's a little bit longer form. You can listen, you can listen to it. You can go and watch a bunch of our trainings and pieces of content at once. If you're listening on the podcast, you can just kind of scroll through, you could Rolodex through and like, you know what I'm saying? So it's almost like a little Netflix effect, if you will, that we do. And I would recommend that for pretty much any coach, unless you're just getting started. But if you're like between that, like 3 to 30K per month mark, you should be following that strategy. One main platform, and then have a place to where you could send people, whether it's a podcast. Now, the difference is like, I don't create, now I'm doing it, I'm creating a little bit different content. But before, for a long time, it's just, I didn't create any different content. The content that went on my podcast was literally the same content that was going on my personal Facebook page, right? Or in my Facebook group. It was just repurposed. Now, because I have more cash flow and I have a team, I'm able to do that because I have editors and I have people that can actually help me out, right? So anyways, that's a long way of saying like choose one main platform to be able to optimize, whether it's Facebook or Instagram. You can't really go wrong. We find for many of our students that Facebook's just easier when you're under that 30 to 50K per month mark. It's just an easier platform right now to be able to monetize. And that's just coming from my own experience and from my experience with helping a lot of other coaches. Now, let's get into the nitty gritty now that that's been said. And so the nitty gritty of like a content creation schedule, and this is how I've been doing it literally since my gym days. So this is more of a principle. This has worked in-person businesses. This has worked on online businesses, but you want to choose a theme, right? You want to choose a theme. The reason you want to choose a theme, and the theme has to be based around your brand messaging. Now, we're not going to dive into brand messaging today. This is one of the first things that we have to teach our in-demand coach students how to effectively do. Brand messaging is essentially the words that you're going to use within all of your marketing, your organic content. If you ever run ads, anytime that you are speaking your brand to another human, like this is the most important part. This is like the calories to somebody's nutrition plan when they're trying to lose weight. If the calories are off to a nutrition plan, I don't care how healthy the food somebody eats, it's probably not going to get them the results they want, right? The weight loss results. The same thing is true with your brand messaging. If your brand's messaging and positioning, right, the angle in which you are portraying your brand to the marketplace is not on point, I don't care how good your content is, like how good the information is, it's just not going to pull the leads and the clients that you're hoping. And so we're not going to dive into this today because it's, a whole different episode, but just understand that the theme that you choose for the month when you're coming up with a content schedule has to be aligned with your brand messaging. And when that is on point, you're going to get leads and you're going to get clients. And so an example for a theme could be where I'm filming this or recording this. It's now we're in June, almost July, in the summertime of 2023. So I could say, hey, lose fat fast for summer. That could be the theme that I'm going to really use throughout the month. Now, the importance of a theme when it comes to generating revenue in an online business is you want people to see content from different angles, which we're going to get into in just a second. And if you're talking about all kinds of different things, like in a given period of time, say 14 to 30 day time period, people are going to get confused, right? They're going to get confused. So if you see how I do it, on Facebook, if you follow me on Facebook, you're going to see that I stay within the same kind of like themes for usually 2 to 4 weeks, right? Before I switch up themes, because you want your audience to be able to see the message that you're talking about over and over and over and over again without veering in 2 different directions, right? And so as an example here, lose fat for summer. And I say this because we just had a student, literally he just posted this, about a week and a half ago or so. He shot me a DM and then he posted inside of our members only Facebook group. And his name is Kurt, and he just crossed over his first $30,000 month. Now he uses Instagram, and I think he's just started to cross over not too long ago into making Facebook like his main platform, but he has a big following on Instagram that he's built over the years. And we're now monetizing it, and a lot of it came from like really theming this stuff up. So when he's posting in his stories, when he's posting on his feed, it's like the same theme that people are seeing. And eventually when you're doing this right, which I'll explain in just a moment, and you're hitting the right psychological and emotional triggers in your audience, people will want to buy. It's that simple. Now, how do you hit those right emotional and psychological triggers? Well, here's the content creation that happens. So we call it conversion content. If you've been following me for any length of time, you probably have seen or heard or watched some kind of training on that. And conversion content is going to be content that's intentionally designed to convert, right? So there's some content that's not designed to convert, and there's some content that is designed to convert. And you've got to make sure that you have your conversion content. Now, we call these formulas, right? So when I have a coach that's wanting to get to 30, 40, 50K per month in their business, like we have to come up with these content formulas. And it's just a fancy way of saying like a sequence of content that's put together, right? I'm going to share some of those pieces of content in just a moment, but just understand this. In order to hit revenue months, especially if your offer is between like 1 to 3K, if you want to hit 30, 40, $50,000 per month revenue marks in your business on a regular basis, you have to have a system. You can't just randomly post good stuff, like valuable, high quality content and hope that it works, because hope is not the best strategy. And so just like if you're like, hey, I want to transform my body and I want it to, I want to build more muscle and decrease body fat or something like that, right? It's going to require more than just like randomly going to the gym and like lifting weight, right? That could take somebody maybe down some weight, but if you really want to create like muscle or shed out some body fat, like, get down to a lower body fat, it's a little bit more of a difficult task. So you have to be a bit more strategic. Same thing is true when you're trying to hit 30, 40, 50K or beyond, right? And so just like with a great workout plan, right? You can have push day, pull day, leg day. It really doesn't matter, right? You could do a 5-day workout split, a 6-day workout split, a 4-day workout split. It really doesn't matter. It's going to be based on preference. But the thing is like you'll have the right, volume with rep ranges, the right intensity, you'll have the right recovery protocol, all in the right nutrition protocol to hit your goal. You see? And so the key here when it relates to content is have that same thing, right? We want to sequence out our content effectively using the theme that we just came up with. So if the theme is lose fat for summer, fast for summer, we want to have the right content sequences that get people interested, right? That start to shift beliefs around some of their more commonly held false beliefs that they have, the people in your audience. We want to be able to demonstrate proof, so we start to build authority, and we want to be able to connect with people, right? We want to have connection type content. And so those are the 5 main pieces of content that are built into a conversion content system, right? We're going to have raise hands posts. These are going to be posts. These can be short form. These can be long form. These can be done in video. These can be done in reels. But they're pieces of content that are designed to get people to raise their hand, right? Saying like, I am interested in what you have. So it's a very CTA, which stands for call to action driven type post that gets people, that hooks them in, that gets them to say, I want what you have, pretty much, right? The second kind of post is going to be a shift beliefs. This is going to be a post, again, it could be done in short form. Traditionally, it's going to be done more longer form or even in a video format. This is a type of post that's going to help shift the perspective, shift the belief, break the belief is probably a better way to say it, of a commonly held belief that somebody has in your audience. So for example, and I'll give you guys a couple examples around these posts here in just a second. But let me do that now. So in the raise hands post, this could be like you offering like a nutrition cheat sheet, right? And you just want to have a good hook on it, right? So people want to actually like click or say yes to it, and you want to have a direct call to action. A shift belief post around there. So using our theme, lose fat fast for summer, perhaps like their commonly held belief is that there's no way they can lose fat for summer, right? Maybe they're like, genetically, it's just not possible for me. This is the way it is. Maybe they have tried things in the past, so you can look at like the common actions they're taking. Maybe they've tried the diet and they've tried to eat under 1,100 calories or something like that, right? And you could start calling those out, and you could break that belief and align them with what you believe to be true, right? So in this example, we could say, well, if you've been dieting and it's not working, it's because you're focusing too much on eating healthy, when instead you want to learn how to eat right? So we start to break the belief that they have, and we want to align it with the new belief. This content is powerful, and when this is included in some of these conversion content formulas, this done right is going to yield you a lot of leads. And this is something that consistently the coaches that we work with in the in-demand coach program, they are the coaches that are consistently generating a lot of revenue. They always have this included in their content creation schedule. And then we have what we call show proof. You got to have posts that show proof. You know, I think the standard way of doing this, especially in the fitness space, is just posting like before and afters, which is great. And you definitely want it. But where a lot of people kind of fall short here, they fall flat, and it doesn't really work for them as well, is like, you've got to have this day and age, pretty much rule of thumb, you got to have a really good hook on your content. You got to have a really good angle. Like, it has to be the right angle, a little bit different, and you have to have the right CTA. And so instead of just posting a standard before and after, which not a lot of people even like they don't look at those the same as they used to, because so many people fake before and afters. It's very sad. And a lot of companies like Beachbody, they actually have been proven to, maybe this has happened to you, but they actually go and they'll buy before and afters from other health and fitness coaches to use in their marketing, which is sick. But so all that to say is, like, there's different ways to show proof, and when done effectively, it's going to yield you a lot of clients, a lot of leads rather. and perhaps clients. You want to have what we call strategic lives. All right, this is going to be the fourth piece of content that you definitely have to have in your content sequences. Strategic lives, this is probably one of them things that I first became really known for in the fitness marketing space, is kind of my innovations around how to go live. Humbly speaking, I think a lot of people in the industry have adopted my way of doing it. However, they can't keep up because I'm always innovating around videos and things like that. And so when you have the right strategic lives where you're hitting on all of the things, right? You're creating demand, you're building connection, you're shifting beliefs, you're teaching value, all of the things, right? Then people, that is like the pillar piece of content that's going to get people in your inbox ready to buy from you. And then the last piece of content here is going to be connection content. Like, you got to have connection content. This is going to be content where you're speaking to the identities that people want. You're speaking to like the core values, right? Like the deep stuff, right? Maybe you're sharing stuff about your personal or your lifestyle, things that are going to connect with other humans. Maybe you go on a strategic rant. Like, just on my personal page the other day, I did a whole rant video of like how to speak up and speak your authentic message, and people loved it. I did one about how to get rid of anxiety, and a lot of these I'm speaking to actual problems that are happening, but I'm speaking more from a place of like identity and value and what people want to step into, you see? And so having that connection content built in is like the last piece. Now, that this list is not exhaustive. There is other content, but I would say those are the 5 main pieces of content that go into a content creation schedule from a coach that's consistently doing 30, 40, 50K per month cash collected in their business. Now, outside of those things, coaches that are generating multiple 6 to even 7 figures, what they're doing is they time block. So I could speak for myself here, and I know I recommend this to all of my students, and the ones that listen to me are the ones that traditionally are doing much better in their businesses. But you time block 1 to 2 times a week to create the actual content. If you're just trying to create content every single day, bro, like, you're gonna burn out. Like, you're gonna burn out for sure. And so I like, right now I'm recording this episode. I'm going to be recording another episode. I've been writing content. If I'm going to create like a lead magnet, I'm going to create it today. I batch all of my stuff as much as possible. And if I can't get it done in one day, I'll do it again like on Thursday or Friday, right? So I batch create content so that like I can get in flow, I get in the zone, I get it all out. And it allows me from not creating content every day, so I can actually focus on other areas of growing my business, Other thing is time blocking to debrief and gather your KPIs each week. I think this is one of the things that makes that helps our students get a lot of success in the in-demand coach. This is something that we do. We have in their first 16 weeks with us, we have a bi-weekly call with people where they can hop on, and like, this is a one-to-one call. We'll like review KPIs, we'll review all that stuff. And then on we have one of our weekly coaching calls is on Friday. We will look at KPIs, we'll audit content, things like that. And then we encourage our students to constantly post this inside of our community. And the reason I share that with you is because that's what creates a lot of success. You see, it's like, if you're trying to lose body fat per se, and you're not really measuring your body fat, you're not really like looking at what you're doing, you're just like hoping that it works. It's like, again, hope's not a great strategy. And so what we teach people and what we do personally is we will time block. I do this on Fridays or Sundays. I literally go through my content. I look at how many comments it produced, like from a call to action comments, I would say. It's like, how many actual like legit comments did it produce of people interested? How many conversations did we start because of those CTAs? How many calls did we book? How many sales did we close? Like, we're literally looking at what it produced. We're looking at the KPIs. And here's the secret. All you're doing is looking at what skills to improve, right? And so like, when you get better at the skills to improve your performance, you have to grow. This is one of the secrets to our success with our students, in ours personally, yeah, but with our students inside the In-Demand Coach program, is we're able to show them like, hey, like, let's get better at your hook. Let's get better at your call to actions. Let's get better at your video performance. Let's get better at X, Y, Z, whatever it may be. And next thing you know, they're generating oodles and boodles of leads. They've got a tsunami of sales coming in. And it's not like magic. It's just because we're improving performance, right? Just like anything in life. But most people don't know how, either A, they don't know how to do this, or B, they're just too caught up in like the do. So they're not actually focused on becoming better, right? And they're not becoming better at the skills and at the character traits required. So, my friends, that is the content creation schedule that of a 30K per month. You know, in fact, 30K per month is I've seen coaches. In fact, we're well above 30K per month, and we're still pretty much doing this. I have other things that I also do at this stage to continue to grow. But coaches who are between 30, I would even say 20, 30, 40, 50K per month on a regular basis, this is what they're doing. This is like what they're doing for the most part, from a content creation standpoint. And so remember, don't fall victim to the content commodity trap. The key is to post strategic content that is designed to drive inbound DMs. And the keys to success here are choosing one main platform that you can really focus on optimizing. Then when you're going to create the content, you want to choose a theme for the month, right? This could be for the bi-weekly, monthly, doesn't matter. And you map out your conversion content and any other types of content you want to create. So like, you got to get your raise hands content, you got to get shift beliefs, you got to get your proof content, you've got to do your strategic lives, you've got to get your connection content. Now, I didn't mention this in the episode, but we have 20 different conversion content formulas. So like, if you're like, dude, I just like want to save the time, like, thank you for giving me this information, Jason, but I'd rather save the time and like just install something in my business that already works. And you're interested in getting more consistent leads and clients coming in. You just want me to show you, give you the actual system that we already know works. We've proven it across over 50 different niches in the health and fitness space. Then what I want you to do, if this is you and you'd rather pay a little bit, perhaps maybe if you're a good fit, pay money to get the systems and the coaching and the guidance, and you want to save the time, just reach out to me on Facebook or Instagram and just say, hey, I'm interested in the content system that you have, and I'll be able to just chat with you to see. But I say all that because we already know what works, right? So we have 20 different sequences that we have together. If you're like, hey, I'm cool just testing and implementing and trying this stuff on my own, you just gotta like practice sequencing these different kinds of pieces of content together until you find one that really works, right? But again, the secret comes down to your messaging. How you're communicating, that's really what's going to like move the needle big time for you. And then you want a time block to create, so you're not creating every day. Time block to debrief and gather KPIs, and then just get better at the skills to improve your performance. If you consistently do this, you will find that you too can be a 30K per month coach. So with that being said, my friend, I hope you have an amazing day. Remember, your message matters now more than it ever has before. Don't be afraid to speak it. As always, that's my old tagline. My old tagline is have faith, stay focused, take aligned action. My new one is to be seen, to be heard, and to be impactful.